Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, sorry about that. Just checking to see what all is showing you guys. So, right now, this is my first time being on YouTube and I'm actually on TikTok. So, if I'm looking up, I'm looking at TikTok. If I'm looking down, I'm looking at YouTube. So, I'm trying to see how all of this works together because I want to be on multiple platforms at the same time. So we'll start really quick with a countdown and an intro, and then I'll come back. Hello, hello, hello. So, for those that are watching me and I'm looking straight at you, you are on my TikTok page. For those of you that I'm looking straight at right now, you are on YouTube. So, I am Jalon. I am the realtor and owner of Dreams to Keys Realty. So, today I'm live on two platforms for the first time. So, I'm trying things out, trying to see what works. But I'm glad that you all are happy and here to join me on either platform. So I am on YouTube and TikTok today. I do have other platforms that I post on, which are Instagram. I post on my professional page as well as my Dreams to Keys business page, Dreams to Keys Realty business page. And then I also have Facebook pages for myself and Dreams to Keys Realty. So make sure that you click the links in the bios because whether you're on YouTube or TikTok right now, there's a link in the bio where you can get connected to me on all of the platforms. You can also use that link to find a lender, start an application, contact me for a consultation, find any affiliation links that I have, as well as any ebooks or any security systems, what have you. If it's related to a home, it's probably in the link in the bio. So make sure that you click the link in the bio and don't miss out on anything. So, welcome. Like I said in the beginning, this is my first time on StreamYard, and this is my first time being on two platforms at the same time. So if it seems a little rough today, don't worry, it'll get better. This is the first time of many, so we're just testing out to see how things work. So if you don't mind, give me a like in either platform, YouTube or TikTok, as you're coming in, and we'll get started. I don't like to waste a lot of time, so we'll get started. Many of you may know me from different videos already on social media. So, for example, if you follow me on TikTok, the video you probably see me the most about is the USDA video. Hello, MP. Is it Jerison Act 625? Um, I posted on various platforms, but on TikTok, I'm most known for the USDA video that I made. And on YouTube, it seems to be different duets that you guys like. Nothing really stood out as much as like the USDA video does on TikTok. On Instagram, there's a totally different video focused on FHA loans. And also now there's another video that I recently did that's focused on millennial investors, and it's also a duet. So I do content based on fact sheets, loans, um, pretty much formulated around homes, of course, because I am a realtor. But you'll also see me post other content because, like I said, I'm more than just a realtor. I am a millennial. I am a homeowner. I am a healthcare professional. So you may see different aspects of me across the platform. You may see different types of information come across that may blend into each other or may not. So if you're interested in anything like that, you definitely want to click the follow button, subscribe here on YouTube, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Dreams to Keys Realty is a company that I started to help those that are interested in buying or selling homes primarily. So eventually we may move into the commercial space, but right now we're focused on residential. And if you're looking to buy or sell, I am happy to assist you with that. So buying on the buying side, we do focus, especially in the videos, we focus a lot on education and different tips to help you move from a renter to a homeowner. And I realized in that process that there can seem like there's a lot of pressure to just push renters into being homeowners. And so that's a bit of what we want to talk about today. If you're on YouTube, you can see that the topic is, do you feel pressured to be a homeowner? And you probably also saw the thumbnail as well coming in. So hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I see more people joining on TikTok. Hello, is it Zavi Galelo? Edgo? Got tongue tied there, but hello, welcome. So if you saw that, you know that we're going to be talking about pressures related to home ownership. I do realize that there are some people that rent and they enjoy that. They enjoy that experience. They enjoy just knowing that they have so many amenities that come with renting. If they're in an apartment complex or whatnot, they may enjoy having that fitness center downstairs. They could enjoy, having that pool, having a sense of community without necessarily having to live with that community per se. So I do understand that there are people that feel like it works for me. It works for me to be a tenant. It works for me to be a renter. That works for me. I like that type of community. So I'm not here to tell you that all of a sudden it doesn't work for you. I'm not here to tell you that that doesn't work, that's not good or anything like that. But I do acknowledge that there is a sense of um, in our society, there's a sense of capitalism, unfortunately, to say that, as you're renting, you're essentially feeding into someone else getting rich. And we all want to make money. We need money, to live our lives. But at what point do you say, yeah, I want to be the one this time to have some income coming in and how things move? I don't want to necessarily give that away. And so there is a benefit there as a homeowner to create wealth as being a homeowner, establishing it yourself. And we've seen celebrities, we've seen people in notable positions and notable companies utilize the equity out of their homeowner, out of being a homeowner, to turn that into businesses and to turn that into so many things that later on you can't even like, if you're on the outside looking in, you probably have no idea that it's related to the fact that they were a homeowner, because you think maybe they were born into wealth, or maybe they acquired it because they have such a large or impressive business acumen. But they started it, some of them, through home ownership. And that's something that I want to encourage those of you who aren't sure about being a homeowner, that think about that. Think about some of the people that you admire that are millionaires and billionaires, and really trace back to think about where they started that from. We all have some similarities in that we want to grow, we want to advance, and we want to be successful in that. And success, sometimes we think of success as money. We think of the acquisition of things and acquisition of money to equate to success. And that's not to say that there aren't other forms of success where money may not show up. But if you're looking to have generational wealth, if you're looking to have, opportunity to educate your children, to offset generational curses and all those things, I personally do think that home ownership is a way to get that started. It's a way that, it puts the money back in your hands versus you giving it to someone else who may not really care about your generations. They may not really care. It's sad to say it like that, but they may not really care what happens. long term for you. They just know that you're their tenant and that there are certain things they expect from you. There are certain things you should expect from them as well. But depending on who your landlord is, you may not feel that sense that they care as much. But when you're the homeowner, it's your responsibility to make sure that if something's wrong in your home or around your home, that you remedy it. And also, there's different avenues that help along the way to make sure in your community those things are remedied. So, homeowner associations, for example, they make sure that your neighborhood doesn't look torn down, run down. And have you ever rented before and you just feel like you don't know what's happening in your apartment complex or what have you? Like you feel like people just run in and out, you don't feel that secure. I remember being in an apartment complex and feeling like, at one point it's like there's break-ins in cars every other week. Like, what is going on? Like, I thought we had a gated community. Like, what is happening? So, having more of a sense of security and privacy is what I really enjoy as a homeowner. But I want to ask you, do you feel pressured to be a homeowner? Do you feel like society says to you that you just need to be one and you don't personally feel like that's a necessity for you? Put it in the comments. Let's talk about it. I want to really discuss, do you feel pressured or do you feel like this is purposeful for you? Do you feel like it's something that you intend to do, you plan to do. Maybe you were raised to think that everyone in your home or everyone in your family should be a homeowner. What are your societal norms? What are your cultural norms around home ownership? Do you feel like it's just something that someone else has put on you as something that you should do? Or do you feel like it's something that you really want for yourself and for your family? So that's something that only you can answer, something that only you can really dig deep and find the answer to. I will say that even as a homeowner and a realtor, there are some societal pressures that make you feel like you have to be a homeowner, that you have to do it right now, that you did it too late when you did do it, all those things. So just be aware of what pressures come from society, what pressures you may be putting on yourself based on how you grew up, what you've seen in your family, what cultural dynamics you have. Be aware of those and be aware of how they show up in your thinking. A lot of times in the comments, I do see some comments that really show what people think about home ownership and how quickly, if something changes in society, that their aspect of being a homeowner, if they were considering that, because like I said, this is comments and I don't know all the people that make the comments, but it does come across like any no you get makes you change your whole avenue. There are people in the comments that sometimes will say, well, the interest rates are high, so it's terrible for everybody right now. And it's never really an always scenario. It's always, everybody can't buy right now, or this is the worst time for everybody to buy. There are times when there's a majority of people that won't benefit from buying, but then there's the time that minority, this is the superb time for them. For example, if you just were dealing with student loan debt, maybe you were forgiven, and now you're at the point where you're like, all that money that I was anticipating to have to give for these student loans, I can actually save. I can put in high yield savings accounts. I can let it grow. And then in time, however long you need, you may be able to use that money for down payment, for closing costs, or if you have an excellent realtor like myself, you can also use that toward, save that, use that toward money later on, get seller concessions in a deal if you're looking to buy a home. And if you're working with an excellent lender, they may already have programs aligned for you where you don't need a down payment. So that's another thing. Do you feel pressure to be a homeowner because you aren't communicating properly with the right people? Who are you really talking to when you say that you want to be a homeowner? Are you talking to people that aren't homeowners themselves? Are you talking to people that don't really care if you have a home or not? Because let's be clear, we may have family and friends that love us, but they may be bitter that they are not homeowners. And so they're not going to gladly talk you into being a homeowner if that's their heart's position. If they're feeling like, I'm not a homeowner, I'm not going to tell you to be one, if that's their thinking, then no, they're not going to encourage you to be one. They're not going to speak to you in that light. So just think about that. Who are you talking to about your dreams in general? So if being a homeowner is a dream of yours, and you're telling it to all the people who are bitter about the fact that they aren't, maybe they've had bad experiences in home ownership, maybe they've had foreclosure, I don't know. But it depends on your circle. Sometimes your circle can affect your growth. So who are you telling your dreams to? Who are you telling that you want to be a homeowner, and what are they saying in return? Sometimes, if you have good, and I am a believer, if you have good faith based relationships where people are speaking life into scenarios, whether they look positive right now or not, you'll be able to tell in how they receive your dreams, if they're the right person to even tell your dreams to. So if you tell someone, hey, I really feel like I want to own a home next year, and they give you all of these reasons why you shouldn't be a homeowner, period. Like, forget next year, period. They don't have good advice about home ownership at all. They may tell you things that sound like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll just go back to renting, or you're right, I don't want to do all those things. And it's important for you to discern your dreams versus their opinions. So, like, for example, if you're on TikTok right now, because I'm live on two platforms, like I said earlier, TikTok and YouTube. So I'm looking at TikTok right now. Hello, Detour Latham. Thank you for joining. And for YouTube, I'm looking at you guys right now. But there are comments that come through all the time. And if you look at the comments, sometimes they're just a barrage of negative comments. And you would think, based on the comments, that someone like pinpointed this person out and told them, hey, you need to own a home right now. And they gave you all the negative reasons about home ownership. And this is the thing, it's not a one size fits all. It's not a one loan fits all. It's not a one home fit all. It's really based on your needs, your scenario, and what you desire. And you can't tell your desires, unfortunately, to everyone. So you have to have what I believe is a spirit of discernment to determine who to talk to. Not just your friends and family, because you need a spirit of discernment for that, I believe, but also for those that you encounter in real estate, such as real estate professionals. So I do encourage people that if you're looking for a realtor or real estate salesperson, depending on what they have as designation, then make sure that you interview them. It's not just you picking them, it's them picking you as well. But make sure that you get a sense of, how well do they listen to me? How well do they really, listen to what I'm saying and give me advice on where to move? Even if that advice means that I have to talk to someone else because this area is not their expertise, how willing are they to tell me that? And then they should be listening to you on how willing are you to listen. So it does have to be a mutual relationship in business, to where I know that as a realtor, when I come to you and say, hey, I have concern about this, and maybe you should talk to this real estate professional, because that's outside of my expertise, but I do feel concerned for this and I think you should look into it, then how willing are you to listen to that? How willing are you to make the decision in haste versus based on true information? For example, if you go on a tour of a property, you go see a property, you haven't made an offer on it yet, right? So you're just going to see the property. You're going to showings, you're going to tours, you're going to open houses. And you fall in love with a home, and you're in bliss looking at this home. But your realtor says to you, you know, I think this is essentially, what you're looking for. I do have concerns just looking at the framework or the structure, or there's signs of water damage, or there's signs of, um, electricity concerns. All of these things are you ready to just say, well, I love this home. I don't care about that stuff. I just need to get into this home, right? So on my side, Detour Latham, see, I don't see any likes yet. I'm sorry. I have my background kind of covering up that screen, so I don't see any likes yet. But I would appreciate some likes if you guys can like the video on TikTok as well as YouTube. So I'm on 2 platforms right now. All right, and welcome, Gino Echo. I hope I said that right. Welcome. All right. So when a realtor or any professional inspector says that to you, that is something that is a concern that could cost you later. And if you don't address it before the deal closes, then that could be something that's on your plate. Whereas before the deal closes, the seller could need to address that or at least give accommodations in the deal for it to be addressed. So be aware that sometimes when you're speaking with real estate professionals, that their expertise may be more related to safety and more related to your concerns legally or covering you so that you don't have to come out of pocket as much as if you were to address the issue before the deal closes. Whereas when you go to the house, you're looking and you're seeing where you can put things and how your family can fit into the home and who's going to have which room and how you can decorate. So there's different mindsets that you can have, but both are important and both should be respected. So just be aware that when you talk to people, they have different aspects of thinking. And it's not to knock what you're thinking, but it may be to open your mind. But there's a different approach of a real estate professional telling you, hey, I have these concerns about water damage, electricity in this particular home that I think could be a concern for you if you own it as is, versus someone telling you, you don't need to be a homeowner, period, because this, and this. What are your dreams and why do you have them? My dream is related to legacy. And that's one of the reasons why being a homeowner matters to me. What is yours? Is yours related to legacy, generational wealth? Is it related to just privacy or, being in a point of autonomy in your home versus just having people knock on your door and tell you when they're coming in and all these different things? So those are things that matter to me. What matters to you, and does it matter long term or short term? Short term may be the best option, may be to be a tenant. It may be the best option for you right now. But what is your long term goal? We don't hear much about people talking about 5 and 10 year goals anymore, but that's still a real thing. What do you want to do 5 years from now? Do you still want to be renting? Because I'm going to tell you, we've looked at data, especially on TikTok. When we've done previous lives, we looked at data looking at buying versus renting for 5 years, and it's not going down. The price is not going down. So welcome, Mara Tokyo and Lady Red. So just be cognizant that if you say you don't have a 5 or 10 year plan and you're just looking to rent until whenever, be aware that in 5 years, the rent doesn't go down. And most likely the accommodations don't improve, depending on who your landlord is. So think about that. Think about, are you willing to pay someone for 5 more years so they get richer? You don't get the accommodation improvement you would like to see. And based on inflation and society, you expect to pay more renting. Whereas with a homeowner, you do have the ability to, look at your pre-approval so you know what type of home you can afford before you actually go to the closing table. I think that's one step that people forget. I think people just come up with numbers or just see the homes first, which is one of the reasons why, as a realtor, you're going to get a pre-approval before we go to see any home, because we're not going off of hopes and dreams. We're going off of informed decision making. So we're not going to see $1 million homes when your budget is $300,000. That's not realistic, and it's not good for you to set you up to think about this grand home that really isn't in your budget, because I'm not looking to have any of my clients be house poor. I'm not. I'm not looking for that. I'm not looking for the next year for you to be struggling to pay your mortgage. That's not my goal. And I hope that's not yours. So a lot of times we see videos of people just showing these awesome homes, but realistically, that's not the budget for many of us. Those homes are pricing a lot of people out, and you show them the home and it looks great and it looks amazing, but is that something that you can really afford for the long haul? And then, as your equity increases, you can make more informed decisions with that. Do you want to? Then there's other options that lenders can tell you about, but cash out refinance is an option. Just refinancing is an option. Um, there's other options where when you purchase the home, depending upon your loan, you can actually get the, like, say you buy a fixer upper, you can get the renovations affiliated or included in that loan. There's so many options out there where it just seems like we think more traditional about the home buying process, and there are so many other avenues that make it more advantageous for me, in my opinion. So just think about what your why is, where your pressure is coming from to be a homeowner, and how do you alleviate that pressure? What do you say about yourself and about your scenario that can help alleviate the pressure of being a homeowner? Who's putting the pressure on you? Is it you or is it someone else? And if it's someone else, tune them out. I mean, you don't have to listen to all the voices that speak to you, right? Those voices aren't always important. So I really appreciate if you guys give some likes up here as you're watching on TikTok and YouTube. So pretty much, what voices matter to you? Is it the voice of your spouse, the voice of your children, the voice of your coaches, counselors, spiritual leaders? What voices matter to you? And let me pause really quick. Sorry, guys. Let me pause with this, get this light. Ooh, hot. Hello, hello, Cream. I see you joining in on TikTok. And TikTok, can you guys hear me? Because I'm using a microphone. So I'm hoping that you guys can hear me. Just going to fix this light. And we're back. So hopefully the light stays on. I appreciate if you guys give some likes here on TikTok. And so where's the pressure coming from? Is the pressure an internal voice? Is it an external voice? What is it that you feel pressure about? Is it the fact that you just need to be a homeowner? Is it the fact that you feel like you haven't saved enough? Where do you feel like the pressure really stems from? And is that something that you can do something about? Do you feel like you need to do something about it? For example, if the pressure is that you need to be a homeowner, but you feel like based on interest rates and the housing prices in your area that you don't have enough savings. Okay, so one thing I want everyone to know on either platform is that just because something isn't a fit right now doesn't mean it can't be a fit later on. But in order for you to get there, you have to have strategy. And people make the term strategy seem like it's an evil word, but it's really not. You just need to put steps in place to get you there. For example, if you have student loan debt and you're eligible for loan forgiveness, you don't just sit around and say, well, they'll forgive me because I'm eligible. No, you apply, right? You put steps in place. You make sure that you keep up the payments, or you do what you need to do to stay eligible, keep that eligibility open, right? There's things that you do. If you feel like you're behind, you communicate that. There's different steps that you take, and it's no different with home ownership. If you are in a position where you say, in the next 5 years, I want to be a homeowner. I'm not a homeowner right now, but I know that I want to be one. I want to teach my children about home ownership. I want them to have financial literacy so that they can become homeowners sooner than I am. All those different thoughts, right? So you don't just sit on them, right? Those thoughts require action, and you have to put steps in place to get there. It's not going to be you just wake up one day and that's it. You just decided and there you are. There are steps you have to take. So there's people that you also have to talk to, right? So we like to Google, we like to YouTube, we like to TikTok, and they have their place. There's information out there, but there's also so much misinformation out there that you really need to speak to those who are experts in the field. So for example, if someone is in a consultation with me and they say, "Hey, Jalon, I'm really not sure about if I should buy a home right now, but I saw a video that you had and it made me think I just want to see for sure. So maybe can you give me information on the market? Can you tell me what's out there, what the prices look like? And then is there an assessment that you have, like what you showed in a previous live, where you showed us buying versus renting in your area for a $350,000 home. And you showed us at that point, for example, in Lawrenceville, the cash flow was positive, but in Atlanta, the cash flow was negative. I'm in a different city and it's a little bit past the time you showed that live. So, can you show that type of information to me specifically for where I want to live? And for the type of home I want to have, and for the price point that I want to have. So, first, I'm going to tell you that it's important for us to know your price point, right? So you have to talk to the lender so that we know what home price point we're in. Then the lender also provides that buying versus renting document that I posted on that live. So we're going to discuss that. We're going to use informed information. We're not going to talk about what everybody else is doing everywhere else in the world. We're going to solidify information for you, personalize information for you, and provide that information to you so that you know how to make the informed decision because the action comes through you. We can do different steps to inform you, but you have to say, "Yes, I'm ready." You have to say, "I'm ready to be your client," and sign the document, right? So that establishes the realtor client relationship. So a lot of times, we want the benefits without the work. And the work really isn't as hard as we make it seem because we have support out there to help us. We're not saying just throw yourself out there, find a home, put yourself in debt. We're not saying all of that. We're saying that there are strategies in place, people out there that are looking to help you get into the home that you would like to be in. When you develop a realtor client relationship, you're essentially developing a type of business partnership in a way where you're saying, "Hey, this person is willing to help me find the home that I want," right? So think of it differently. Don't think of it as, well, some people have a negative mindset when it comes to talking with realtors. They kind of focus on the realtor commissions more than they focus on all the effort that a realtor puts in to put, your needs first for the type of home you want. So let's be clear about that. No one wants to do work and not get paid for it. You don't want to go to work and work 40 hours a week. And then when it's time for the paycheck to be cut, you're like, "Well, I'll just volunteer my time." No, you went there to get paid. So I think there's a negative connotation when it comes to realtor commissions as if there's no need for us to have commissions. And I as a realtor, I don't agree with that. But I know that there are people that would like to buy homes, on their own, sell homes on their own, and to each his own. I'm not going to tell you what's best for you. But what I will say is that every person that works should be paid for their work, in my opinion. Um, and so there's no need to, in my eyes, there's no need to skip steps just to avoid like the commission when there's so many avenues that a realtor can help you with. For example, realtors, like other professionals, we do continuing education, which means that we are constantly learning. We are constantly being taught and teaching each other and learning from professionals in real estate about the different things that come out. So if there's changes in the market, if there's changes in how homes are constructed, if there are concerns about homes being constructed, we're probably going to get that information at some point or another through our continuing education. We speak with inspectors, builders, other real estate professionals, realtors, what have you. So we're constantly learning. And as we learn, it makes us better for you. It makes us better. Whereas if you just go and Google information, you're probably going to get more opinions than you're going to get actual expertise from real estate professionals. So there's so many things. And if you've seen my social media platforms, you know that there's information that brought you here, right? There's information that made you say, I want to follow, I'm going to check out her live, I'm going to comment. There's information that made you say, oh, I didn't quite know that, or I didn't know it like that. So that type of information we learn constantly because we're constantly getting information, learning, and that's a part of the job. If you just take any job or you are in any profession and you just take the information you learn from the day you graduated and don't learn anything else, you don't grow, you're not building upon that dynamic career that you're in, then you're stagnant. You don't know anything more than what you learned to the day you graduated, right? But things change day to day. The market changes day to day. Ask any lender. Those interest rates probably change multiple times throughout the day. Okay, so just be aware that when you make the decision to exclude people that are experts in real estate from your experience of home ownership, you make the decision to be less informed than you would otherwise. So think about that when you get on the track of saying, I'm ready to be a homeowner, because essentially you want to recruit people on your team that are going to help you get the home you need, because essentially that's what we're doing. As a realtor, when you say, I'm going to buy a home this year, I'm ready to buy a home, and I'm going to say, what type of home, are you looking for? And have you spoken with a lender? And we're going to position you with people like the lender to speak with. I'm never going to tell my client to skip inspections. I'm never going to tell my client to not have title insurance. Why would I do that? Why? I don't know why anybody would. But the things that are discovered upon inspection, for the price that you pay for an inspection and the type of information that you get back, it saves you a lot of money. It saves you a lot of frustration for that to be uncovered up front, especially. And I think people also have a misconception about new construction homes. The perception is that new construction is perfect. That's a perception that comes across from the potential buyer, right? For real estate professionals, we know better. We know that that's not the case. It looks good, it looks fresh, it looks new, and it's supposed to, but that doesn't exclude concerns. That doesn't exclude if something was half done. And an inspection is still needed. Even if you're building from the ground up, you need more inspections because you need inspections along the way. You need someone to double check the builder to make sure that things were done right. And if they weren't, that they're fixed before you move in. Need people to hold others accountable. That's another reason why you want real estate professionals on your path of home ownership, because we hold each other accountable, because it's not going to be on my reputation that you bought this house and it clearly has issues. And there's issues that will cost you thousands if you don't fix them because they were wrong from the beginning. So that's a misconception. New construction does not equal perfect. There could be issues with new construction, just like there could be issues with existing homes. So That's another reason why you, in my opinion, should use real estate professionals along the way. Welcome, is it well? Welcome, welcome, and welcome, Faith Walk. And so, do you feel pressured to be a homeowner? Do you feel pressured? Is the pressure because you don't feel like you're willing to talk to people who can help you? Is that the pressure? Is that the pressure? If so, what's the hold up there? Do you feel like you're not comfortable talking to others? Do you not know who to talk to? And if you're on this page, you know who to talk to. One, I'm a realtor. Two, a lender is in the link in the bio. Three, I have inspectors and all types of real estate professionals. I am a healthcare professional, by the way, so that's why I sometimes say that. But real estate professionals um, in my contact. So one connection can link you to all the people that you need, right? So what's the holdup there? Is it pressure or is it fear? Are you afraid because maybe you're the first to do it in your family, first time home buyer, first generation home buyer? Is it pressure or is it fear? Because if it's fear, we can push through that, but the limitation is your mind. If it's societal pressures, then you have to know who to tune out. You're going to have to learn, whose voices are most important. Society will always have an opinion about it, and society isn't going to buy the home for you. So, what voices are most important to you? And a lot of times we'll do for other people before we'll do for ourselves. We'll do for our children, we'll do for our spouse, and then we'll leave ourselves out to dry. So maybe you should ask the people that you love and care about the most about the decision versus worrying about what society thinks. Society is always going to have an opinion. They don't love anybody for too long. Society, no. So if you feel pressure to be a homeowner and you feel like the pressure is, well, you did it too late, or you're thinking about it too late, you should have done it when it was 2 and 3%. Let's be clear, there are still options out there right now where you can get 2 and 3%. You know the option? Assumable mortgages. Assumable mortgages. And a lot of people will tell you that because they rather harp on the fact that the interest rate is 7% or so, right? They rather harp on the negative because they have no intention of growing in this area to be a homeowner. And so they're going to hold as many people down as they can. That's their mindset, right? But what's yours? Welcome. Is it Ameliorate with Tierra and ACR? Welcome, welcome. So what's your mindset? Why do you have to be limited because someone else is? And even if you're not ready right now, this moment, why can't you get ready? If that's your goal, why can't you get ready? If you don't have enough savings right now and you want to, Tierra, welcome, welcome. So if you don't have enough savings and you want to buy a home, what's stopping you from getting a high yield savings account? Who's stopping you? You, right? If you don't know a realtor in your area, and I'm not in your area, for example, I refer people all the time to realtors in their area. So again, what's stopping you? Is it pressure or is it fear? Do you move like you're afraid, or do you move like I'm just taking the steps and it's just going to take me time to get there? But, I'm getting there. I'm going to get there step by step. The longer you take to really make the decision about whether or not you're going to be a homeowner, it may look different along the line. So if you checked out any videos that I posted recently, I posted a video about how millennials have now crossed over the 50% mark of home ownership, meaning over 50%, I believe the number was 51.5% of millennials are now homeowners. That's amazing news, right? But also put it in perspective. Other generations, previous generations prior to millennials, reached this mark well before us. I am a millennial, so that's why I'm saying us. But the reality is, it's getting harder out here. It's not getting easier. And we see that by the time that it's taken millennials to reach this milestone. But we have generations after millennials already, right? That's not the last generation, right? So what are we doing for ourselves? And we say we love our family and our kids and the generations after us. We say we want to do better for them, right? What are we doing right now to demonstrate that? Do you live your life in a way that says that I'm going to be the demonstration for the next generation? Do your children have to start from scratch? Do they? Why? When you know better. So you didn't get an inheritance, and I'm not saying that you should give one, that's your decision. But for example, if you are bitter about not getting an inheritance from your parents, are you positioning yourself to give one to your children? What is the pressure and what is the fear? Do you feel pressure to be a homeowner because you feel like, well, I'm always on Jalan's page and that's all she talks about, so she's pressuring me? Or is it that you're really afraid? It seems like a huge deal. It seems like a huge transaction. And I'm not going to make it like it's the biggest transaction I've ever made for my personal, credit or anything. Buying a home was the biggest transaction. It's bigger than any car. It outweighs student loan. It's bigger, right? It is. Would I go back to renting? Absolutely not. I'm not. For what? I'm the type of person that likes peace. I like to know that my home is secure. The things that I post on my pages, the things that I post on the videos, I've done, right? I'm not saying get a Vivint package because I like Vivint, enough to be making a video. I have Vivint for my home, and it helps me with, making sure that my insurance is lower. So I'm not telling you things that I didn't do. I've tried ADP before. So I think that there's a lot of misconceptions about realtors. There's a lot of realtors leaving the profession. Um, so it matters why you do everything. It matters why you're a homeowner. It matters why you're a realtor. It matters why you get into any profession, any way of life. It matters what you're doing day to day and who it affects. The reason why I chose to be a realtor is because I understood the benefits of home ownership and I experienced them myself. And I knew that there were things that I was supposed to be told that I wasn't when I was a homeowner. And so I'm not going to make it seem like a dream. It is a responsibility, but it's one that I would do over and over again. And I think for those of you that have rental properties or duplexes, that is something that I want to get to. That's a new goal for me. So everyone has goals. It's about, or you should have goals. It's about what you're doing to get there. And are you utilizing the resources appropriately to get there? Googling everything, Google, TikTok, YouTube, it will give you information, but sometimes it's misinformation. And so getting experts, getting those who do this on a regular basis, those who have their why that connects with yours, because I'm going to be the type of person to say, you know what, if you're just too far from me, I'm not going to try to stretch you. I'm not going to say that, I'm going to hold up your process of home ownership. I'll tell you up front, that we're a little bit too far away, but I don't mind referring you to someone in your area. Think about that when you're interviewing real estate professionals. Are they trying to hold you, or are they really about what's best for you? And a lot of times in the videos, I've talked about relationships, right? How relationships impact you in your home ownership journey. And just previously in this live, I talked about who are the voices that you're listening to. Some of us have to reevaluate those. I'm not just saying romantic relationships, because sometimes when we bring that to the table, it shows that there's an issue. And from the outside looking in as real estate professionals, we can see it, we can sense it. And so you have to get a handle on your relationship if you're going to own a home together. Is that a pressure? Is the fact that you're in a relationship, is the fact that you're married, is the fact that you're in any type of committed relationship a pressure to be a homeowner? I know that after I was married, there was a pressure to have child, have a child, have children, get a home. There's an order of pressure that you feel in society, right? You feel like if you're not doing it, then you're off base. You're not right. You're not doing what you should be doing. Someone's going to be disappointed in you. Is that your pressure? Because I'll be honest, that was a pressure for me for a while. That was a pressure for me. So what is your pressure? And let's be clear, if I can go back in time, I would tell all those people to mind their business. Because making the decision to be married, making the decision to have a house, making the decision to have children none of those decisions are laissez-faire decisions. They're all serious decisions. And that's not anything that you should rush. It's everything that you should be prepared for. I mean, let's just be real about where our pressures are coming from, because if we're not, we're going to just move off of what society is doing. So right now, society says the interest rate is too high, so you shouldn't buy a home. Meanwhile, you're a veteran. I hope you can see my face. It's just because it's not right for everybody doesn't mean that it's wrong for you. Where's your pressure coming from? Where is the voice coming from that's telling you that what you dream about, what you want for your life, what you want for future generations is wrong? Where are you getting that from? There are people that will fight me in the comments about videos I post, and you would think that I posted about them the way they go off in the comments sometimes. And I realize that that is just an indication of a trigger. I don't know them from anywhere. But something about that post says to them, I can't do it that way. That's not right. That's not right for me. So that's not right for everybody. And I can't do it that way. And I'm not going to fight you about what's best for you. I don't know what's best for you. But I will say that one of the things that life has showed me, being married, being a homeowner, being a realtor, being a divorcee, being a healthcare professional, aspiring author, one thing that life has showed me is that the more I listened to people, the more I tried to please people, the less I was happy, the less happiness I felt, the less fulfilled I felt, the less I walked in purpose. And the moment that I set boundaries, the moment that I said, I'm going to do what is right for me, what's pleasing, for me spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially. And I had to watch difficult relationships close. And that's not just based on the pressure of buying a home, that's on the pressure of what home looks like, what home feels like. So you buy a physical structure, right? But when you go in every day, what voices are you entertaining there? Because that's what you would be allowing at that point. Do you feel pressured to be a homeowner? What does it look like to be a homeowner for you? Does it look like that you have family? Does it look like that each room has a child in it? Does it look like that you have a movie theater? Does it look like you have, get-togethers at your house? Or does it look like y'all just meet at events and you just rent? What is the pressure to be a homeowner? Is there a fear because the last time you were in a home, it was taken from you? If it was foreclosed on, you were kicked out. What's the pressure to be a homeowner? Is it pressure or is it fear? Sometimes we just act out what we haven't really dealt with and healed from. And we show that up in relationships that have nothing to do with it. We act it out with people that weren't there. They don't know anything about it. You come to a realtor consultation and you screaming and hollering, and I don't know what you're talking about. Like, can we be real about where our pressures are and really deal with them? Okay, you don't like the percentage on buying a home right now. Okay, I understand. I do understand. But if you say you want to be a homeowner, it's get ready season. If you're not buying right now, but you want to be a homeowner, it's get ready season. It's not just, pumpkin spice, it's get ready season. This is the time to get ready. So did you open that high yield savings account yet? I told you, if you're going to be my client, we got financial advisors over here. We're not just doing things willy-nilly. I think the future is too serious for you to be willy-nilly about it. Because if you're buying a home, you don't plan on moving for years from now. If you plan on selling at all, what's the plan? If we're sitting in a consultation, we're going to talk about the plan. We're going to talk about the goal. We're going to talk about, what do you plan to do with this property? And we're going to discuss that at each step with each I keep saying healthcare professional, with each real estate professional, because we're going to make sure that, sorry guys, we're going to make sure that things are done correctly. So make sure that you're ready to have those discussions. It's not just about how many bedrooms you want and maybe, you knowing the city that you want to live in, because some people, when you call in those consultations, you're not clear about that either. But it's time to get ready. It's time to be clear about what you want and how you want it. Because you will be presented different things by different people in different ways. So you'll see things on social media, you'll see things in our consultation, you'll see things in meetings with the lender, you'll see things with inspectors, you'll have all of these pieces of information presented to you. And if you're not clear on why you're doing it, what you're doing it, how you want to do it, what the benefit will be 5 to 10 years from now, what the benefit goal is for your legacy and your children, it's not going to come out the way you want to. It's going to need fixing. So have a plan and work the plan and inform those who are on your team. Because essentially, when you hire a realtor, you're hiring a teammate. So I'm going to tell you, I already got a home. I'm trying to help you get one. And I'm clear about that. So you just got to tell me what you need in your home. You just got to tell me what you want around your home. And I can figure that out. It's all on what you need and what you want. But you have to be clear about that. So if you're not clear, it's get ready season. Get ready for what you want and be clear about it. And you have to communicate that clearly. If you have problems with your credit, it's get ready season. So what? We're not just sitting around here harping about shoulda, coulda, woulda, and the interest rates. No, it's get ready season. If it ain't right now, it's gonna get right later. And you never know when that thing that you need to changes, and all of a sudden all lights are green and it's time to go. But if you're not ready, it's not going to be your time. For example, people keep getting their loans forgiven out here. And if that's the one thing that's holding you back, So if you blink 2 times and your loans are forgiven, and you say, "Oh, that's all I needed to buy the home I want," but you don't have everything else in place, your credit's not right, you don't have any savings, you're wasting time. So that's essentially what I wanted to talk to you guys about. I do feel like a lot of times in the comments and sometimes in consultations, I can feel that people feel pressure to be a homeowner. Sometimes they're just not even clear about why they want to be a homeowner. They just say, "Well, I saw your video and I found it interesting and I just want to know more." And I am not opposed to having discussions about interesting topics if you feel intrigued and all of that. But what I do want you to know is you have to be clear about what you want, how you want it, and how you want it to show up for you and your family. And the pressure or the fear from society or any voices that you have surrounding you, you have to be clear on what you're going to tune into and what you're going to tune out of. Because society only loves something or someone for a limited time. Society is not a sound advice board. It's just not. Society has told us so many things about theories that many of them we've never seen. So instead of moving like everybody else moves, because also once those interest rates do drop down from some years from now, is what is estimated, everybody's going to be in competition with everybody else that said, "I'll wait until the interest rates drop." And what will most likely happen is that the pricing houses will go up. So the interest rates drop, the price of the house will go up, and everybody's in competition because of what they said they wanted to do. Wait until the interest rates drop. So you'll find yourself in competition with the same people that said, that are saying right now, "No, I don't want to be a homeowner." But really, what they really want is the appropriate numbers, or what seems like the appropriate numbers. And if you talk to mortgage brokers or get those loan estimates, um, those numbers, things can be tweaked to a degree, but essentially finding programs or incorporating strategies in the deal is something that will help you. Seller concessions, you've heard 2-1 buy downs, you've heard things like that. Those are strategies that as real estate professionals, as realtors, we can help you with. And it's okay if you have to walk away from certain deals if they're not right for you. And welcome, Marcio, Maya, I love Selena. I think I can't see the rest of that, but welcome. Sticky Dream, welcome. Um, so there are so many avenues that people can help you, but you have to know how to direct them. You are in charge essentially. So you're telling us how you want things to move. And of course, there are legal bounds that we have. There are ordinances, there are different things that have to be in place. So there's a limitation there. But essentially, you have to tell us, what you're looking for and how you're looking for it to show up in your life, because it's the home that you want to live in, right? And even for those of you that are investors, if you are looking for realtor services, be clear about the fact that the pressure to just buy a home, fix it up, and sell it could be present for you. And then the pressure to have it sold so that you don't incur all of these costs with keeping it up and not having it winterized or anything like that. Those are real pressures as well. So is it pressure or is it fear? Are you standing still or are you moving? And are you moving forward? is the question. So if you're interested in delving deeper into that, if there are certain topics that you want me to cover related to that, I think I sense that you guys are kind of clued into this live. If you came in a little later, I'm live on TikTok. If I'm looking at you right now, you're on my TikTok. And then if I'm looking at you now, you're on my YouTube. So I do have multiple platforms that I post videos on, but this is the first time I've gone live on two at the same time. So I hope this showed up pretty well. I think I looked at TikTok a lot more than YouTube, but I'm hoping that this showed up pretty well. But YouTube, you guys got the countdown and you got the intro. So I hope you guys like that. And TikTok, make sure that you click the link in the bio. You can click the link in the bio on any platform and you can get the information for all of the social media as well as links to lenders, um, contacting me, booking a time with me, as well as any affiliations. Right now, I did post information for Real. Have you guys ever heard of Real? They have toilet paper and paper towels. And so I will be doing some videos related to them just because I have used them since the pandemic. So at the time when the pandemic, and this is kind of off the original topic, but at the time when the pandemic hit, I don't know if you guys remember this, but there was like no toilet paper in the grocery store, and I I didn't quite correlate that with the respiratory infection that we were dealing with, but such is life. And I really, oh, thank you so much. Is it C Ficker Run 123 for sending me a heart and becoming a member on the team and getting the gifter badge, joining the live. Just thank you. Thank you so much. Um, so at that time, I didn't quite correlate why we were unable to have toilet paper in the grocery store because of respiratory infection, but I don't think Kleenex was moving like that. So anyway, um, so I essentially have been using Real since that time. They do have toilet paper and paper towels out of bamboo. And so I'll be posting some videos related to them soon because, and you'll see on the link in the bio that I have different links where you can get their products. So I hope to do more product reviews or product deals and brand deals coming up. Some of you guys may know that I'm already into other areas. I'm a healthcare professional, I'm a homeowner, divorcee, realtor, aspiring author. I'm writing a book, you guys. So, and it's not related to real estate, but I'm writing a book. So I'm doing so many things, but I enjoy it. And I hope that you guys will enjoy the various aspects of me, whether it's just me posting real estate content or any of those other avenues. I know that I have attracted millennials and divorcees on social media, and also that has led to them telling their parents about me and ending up on consultations with me. And so I really do appreciate all the love and support that you guys give. And I hope that you found this live encouraging. I realize that there are pressures out there, but I want you guys to know that you can work through those things. There's a lot of those pressures that are just voices that really don't matter. And you have to figure out which voices matter to you and how to take those steps. And in the consultations that I have with potential clients and clients, we talk about actionable steps. We talk about things that you can do to take those steps forward toward home ownership. And I hope to have more consultations with you guys soon. If you are open to having a consultation, you want to click the link in the bio. The link is beacons.ai/Jalon Strong. If you've seen beacons or not sure what a beacon is, it's very much like a link tree. So just click the link, no harm in clicking that link, and it will take you to various tabs. It will show you my email. It will show you all my social media links. It will also show you tabs for affiliations I have. There's a lender application in there, so you can get connected with one of my preferred lenders, who also is a USA USDA approved lender. And then you can book a time with me, which is a consultation time. And we will talk about your scenario. We're not going to talk about society. We're going to talk about your scenario, what your dreams and goals are for home ownership, and how we can get you there. And we'll talk about actionable steps and how we can follow up to make sure that you become a homeowner. If you're someone that's not in my area, I gladly refer you to realtors in my network that are in your area. And if at any point you find someone, that was referred that you're like, maybe not this person, maybe I'll try someone else, I'd be glad to refer you to someone new. And there are so many realtors that are ready and waiting and willing and happy to work with you guys. So, as you see, I am the owner of Dreams to Keys Realty, and all these keys out here are up for grabs. So, if you are ready and willing to move on the home ownership journey, take those steps, push past the pressure and fear, and get into your home. Get into your home, right? Then you want to click those links in the bio and get connected with me. Make sure that you follow the platforms. Follow me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can find me as Jalon Strong Realtor, or you'll also find the profiles by Dreams to Keys Realty, which is the business name. So I hope that I was helpful for you guys. I know I kind of went on a little bit of a little soapbox with you guys, but I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that you found yourself inspired. If you did have fear or pressure in society to be a homeowner and to be clear about what you want and how to get there. So I hope I can help as many of you get there. Thank you all for joining me. I see Jeremy Spears, 29, and Emma joined, as well as Brenda Randolph and Showpause. Thank you so much. I hope that you can give this video a like. And like I said, I was on TikTok and YouTube today. So make sure that you follow on all platforms. YouTube got a special intro and countdown, and I'm trying different things. This is the first time that I've been on two platforms at once. So as I grow, I hope to take you all with me, and I really appreciate you for being on live with me over an hour now. Can you believe that? So I'll see you in future videos and future lives. Make sure that you follow, because from time to time I will schedule a live. All right. So I hope that this was great for you. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye. Bye, YouTube.